Morning world, welcome to Saturday the 20th of February 2021. Winter is almost over and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be sad. See the back of it. Today's the day we say goodbye to Hercules, the bull. He's not been here quite as long as I'd like it to have been, so another week, 10 days would have been handy, but he's been sold and his new owner kind of wants him, so he's got to go. So I'm going to give these guys their grub and then we'll go in there and just refresh the bed next door, and then we've got to separate him from the cows and everybody else so that he is ready for a collection in, well, about an hour and a half. Fun and games. About as patient as my daughter, you lot. Come on, out of the way. Right out of the way, thank you. That's it. I need you lot out there. Not in here, not for 10 minutes. So this was done 3 days ago. Also what I'm going to do today is literally just scratch the top off, give it a bit of a refresh, and then when his new owner comes, she can see what he's been laying on, just in case they're interested. Some are. Oh yeah, I filled me hole in yesterday with wood chip. I thought about putting stone in there, but when I do the drainage for the yard, I've got to dig it all out again. So I thought, well, if I'm digging it out, I'd rather have organic stuff to dig out and tip than a lot of clay mixed with stone, because just I'd rather have it that way. So the plan is just to scratch that out, like I said, bit of fresh on the top, get him back in. If I can get the bull Hercules back in the far end, I've kind of got him, he's ready to go, and it should only be a 10-15 minute job to get him loaded up to go to his new home. Okay, so that's that refreshed, and he is more or less in exactly the right position, more or less. That's it, you look that way. Come round. Come round. There's a good chap. Go on. No, don't look that way. I don't want you to go that way. Go on. Back that way. Go on. Don't put your head down. Go on. Go on, fella. Go on. Right, I've only got to separate him from one cow. That should not be too bad. Mind your head. Look at it. Shoulder. Okay. This is always a bit you've got to be a bit careful of, dealing with big animals in a closed space when they want to get a bit frisky. Come on. Go on. Go on. In you go. Right. No, I want you out, Red. Right, okay. So far, all going to plan. It could all go wrong yet. Okay, so I think we'll leave this gate open a minute, because he's not due to be picked up for another hour, but at least that job's done. So I'll let everybody else come in and go and keep him company. I'll go and have a cup of tea. Right, well, I kind of thought that while we were talking bull, I would have a little look at Hercules' passport before he goes, because I know he's done some travel. So he was born at Surrey Park Farm in Surrey, Yorkshire, and from there, am I in the right place? That's his pedigree certificate. 20th of the 2nd, 2014 he was born. So he then went to Nottingham, from then back to North Yorkshire, then down to Oakhampton in Exeter, back to Yorkshire, Stafford, back to Yorkshire. I presume this is when he was still with his original breeder. So that's his pedigree certificate. So all pedigree cattle will have one of these. Green for the boys and white for the girls. So yeah, that is his. So one or two have said before about ear tags and stuff like that. Well, the thing is with ear tags, because this is his number. Everywhere this animal goes, this goes with him. And then every farm where he goes, we've all got our own little labels. So we have to put our own label in the next box. We have to do entry, the date he came onto the holding and sign it. And then when he goes, we've got to do the date he leaves the holding and sign it. So that way, this bit of paper is evidence of basically his life, where he's been through his life. But also on top of this, there's an electronic copy, because we've got to go online and do this online as well. So there are basically two sets of records, a paper record and an electronic record of this animal's life. Where he's been, when he was there, how long he was there, etc., etc. And that is simply for cattle tracing. If we ever, heaven forbid, got another bout of foot and mouth disease, and say it was on a farm that he's just come off, but he's no longer there, he could have travelled around, he could be a carrier, and he could have spread it to the farm he's going. So this is basically a way for the ministry to get in front of disease. So if something nasty happens, the ministry can literally call up the records for that farm, wherever the incident or disease was, and they can look at all the movements on and off that farm right up to the day where it was reported. So anything that left the farm sort of up to 6 weeks before, they can trace where it's gone, who's got it, and they can go and test those farms and see if they've got any infection or whatever else, or, you know, in case of foot and mouth, basically just go in and slaughter everything, because they need to stop it. So yeah. So yeah, so that's the paper passport for animals. All of my animals have got one of these. None of my animals have got that many pages, because pretty much everything that is born here only needs 2 boxes. That is the birth box and the death box when they go. Apart from the cows, of course, because we do sell some cows and heifers. So, right, well, I was going to go in and do a little bit of editing on my bale-off challenge with Mr. Cornock, because I watched his video this morning, and it is so similar to mine. It's kind of, it's not quite a mirror copy, but not far away a mirror copy. So obviously great minds think alike. He used a lot of my footage, which I'm quite happy with, because at the end of the day I gave him the footage to do with as he wanted, but we've kind of both used the same bits. He's used some of the bits that I haven't got, and I'll use a few of the bits that he hasn't used. But yeah, our videos are very, very similar. It's got to the point where shall I upload mine, because there will be comments which the same as Richard's. Well, it was the same event on the same day, the same weather, same timekeeper, same. So, but anyway, so for some reason my Movie Maker program does not want to open the file, and I don't know why. No, it's not having it. So what I might have to do is actually open the Movie Maker and actually go into the edited final version of the video and add it to that. So basically all I was going to do was on the actual drone footage of the thing, I was going to put a little bit of a race course, you know, voice over it, just to add a bit of humour to the thing. But the problem is I'm getting short on time, and the ball's going in half an hour, and I don't know if I'm going to get this done. So you may see a video with some voiceover editing on it, or if I run out of time, you're just going to have it like it is. Just the way it is. So right, and I'm pretty sure I put it in there. Right, that's going to take 25 minutes to load up, so I'll probably do this after the ball's gone, if I can. Well, that's it. Hercules has left the farm. He actually went an hour or so back. He didn't want to go. I got the distinct feeling he did not want to go. It took 2 of us, 2 blokes in there, and in the end I had to resort to the persuader a bit, because he was not going. It was a case of I was standing by that feed rail over there and I am not moving. Thing is, when you've got a, I don't know, what's he going to weigh, 600-700 kilos, he was a big fella, animal that ain't gonna move, and starts putting his head down at you saying I ain't moving. I don't condone the use of a stick or a pipe or anything like that, but it was a case of we didn't have to get rough with him. It was just a case of, no, tap him on the nose to try and point him in the right direction. But yeah, he didn't want to go. Anyway, he is gone, well, about 10 days before I thought he was going to, which in some ways is a bit of a disappointment, because I hope he's caught everything in here. But we have just bought that heifer. She is a 34-month-old maiden heifer, which actually came from a neighbour, literally a quarter of a mile from here. I did so point right next to what I was showing you. and I don't know if he's caught her or not. So I've not seen any mud on her flanks from where he's been on the job. So I'm hoping he's caught her, but I don't know. I don't know. If he stayed another 10 days, I'd have probably been a bit more sure about it, but well, we'll find out, I suppose. So that's the downside. There is a bit of an upside, because now there's no bull in there. It does give me a few more options with this shed. I could put those 10 young cattle back in with the others, and have all of this shed for lambing space. Also means I can keep some of my kit undercover in the dry. Pros and cons for that: if they go back next door with the other cattle, they'll no longer be getting any coarse ration, and there's still actually, excuse the wind, well, there's still actually a fair bit in there. So I think, oh, no, you're not getting it now. No. So it might be a case of they'll stay in here until that's gone. That will be gone well before lambing, so I could bring the Kin Cross ewes in and just give them this 30 foot by 30 foot space, and that would do for the time being, just so I can get them indoors, get them a bit of shelter, up their grub a little bit. I don't like giving sheep too much before lambing, because you end up with great big lambs and you can't get the lambs out. So there's a fine balance between giving them enough to feed them and the lambs. Obviously, if they're in here, they're not roaming around, they're not producing as much heat, they're not using as much energy roaming around looking for grass. So it is a fairly fine balance between giving them enough to maintain them and grow the lamb, but not so much that you get a massive lamb and you can't get it out. But there you go. So, right. So you guys, sometime in about the next 10 days, I think, are going to be going back next door with your mums and what is actually your brothers and sisters, because your dad is this year's calf's dad, Bramble. So you're not having any now. No, later. All right, in a bit. See, one of those Herdwicks is obviously quite thin. That's obviously one of the youngsters, because she can fit between the bars on that ring feeder. I don't know how she can fit the bars, but she does. Oh, you're still a bit nervous, aren't you, teddy bears? Right. All right, calm down. Right, your bucket of stuff was getting a bit light. Yep. New one. That's it. That can go in there. That can come out. I put the buckets in a wheel and a tire like that, because it's much harder for the sheep to push them around the yard. Because if I didn't, that bucket, when it was half full, would be out. Well, it'd be out there somewhere.